Hey Russell, it's great to see you today. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing so well and so thrilled to be talking with you. Well, let me tell you, congratulations on this new film. I just love you in it. I just love you everywhere. But I want to know, what was the most challenging thing about playing Gabriel Mort? And what caught your attention about him?
Well, yeah, it was actually his life and the biographical details that I could find out about him that actually got me interested, I found him to be a fascinating man, the journey that he'd been on, where, he's fought against the fascists in the Second World War as a member of the resistance. He came out of his war years, he became a lawyer, then he became a journalist, then eventually, he did get accepted into theology school, becomes a priest, works for 30 years within the Paulist, and that order is about communication. So he was, producing radio, he was producing television, he was writing hundreds of magazine articles for interfaith magazines, and it's not till he's 60 that he becomes an exorcist. So that life journey itself got me really interested.
Father Gabriele Mort. On the night of June 4th, you performed an exorcism.
Is it true that you don't like actually horror movies? You're not quite a fan?
Well, I'm probably not supposed to say that, yeah, but I don't. I don't. I like to sleep deeply at nighttime and wake up with a clear head. I said I understand people who do. I understand that people go to horror movies, they want that thrill, they want to be scared, they want to grab the hand of the person next to them. So I do understand it, but it's just my personal preference.
Do you believe in possessions, in demons, and so on?
Well, I think that there's a broader question there, Do I believe that evil exists in the world? Absolutely, I do. You can see that every night you watch the news. You can see it when you scroll back through history and see the sorts of things that our species have inflicted upon itself, So, yeah, I think evil exists. Are there coincidences that happen in our lives that are inexplicable? Well, yeah, there are. And the thing is, you talk to everybody and they've had the same experience. So if it's a shared experience in that way, is it coincidence? Have you ever walked into a room and felt a change of energy, walked into a building and suddenly felt uncomfortable and you don't want to be here, had some kind of intuitive thought that you shouldn't go through that door or that you shouldn't drive down that street? We've all had this stuff and we can't explain any of this stuff. And I'm actually at that age now, at 58, where I no longer stand on a mountain of cynicism thinking I understand things, because the older I get, the more I realize I don't know anything. I don't know how this world works. I don't know how these things connect. I just know they exist.
And would you dare to witness or participate in an exorcism?
Well, see, the thing is I make Hollywood movies, so you're assuming that I haven't been involved with exorcisms? Part of the business. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I would have to think about that. I would probably find it very interesting. I feel like I have, given how many hours and hours and hours of footage that I've watched of real exorcism. So it's not something that, I haven't experienced in a theoretical way. You have to be a little bit careful with what you play with, though. My interpretation of the book of Ezekiel is that if you see bad things, you're going to think bad things.
She was not possessed. She was mentally disturbed. What is this about?
We have more questions for you, Father Mort.
You have a problem with me? You talk to my boss, the Pope.
We know, despite the sadness, obviously, of all the fans, that you're not going to be in Gladiator 2. They want to know, have you talked to Ridley Scott? Did you suggest anything to him about the film?
I talk to Ridley on a fairly regular basis. We had dinner together twice last year. One of them actually was in Malta one night with me and Ridley and Joaquin Phoenix. And it was the first time the three of us had been in Malta together since 1999. So that was cool. I haven't offered him any sort of suggestions, like it's Maximus.
Really?
Is deceased. It doesn't involve me, If he wants to ask me a question, he'll call me. But at this point in time, that production doesn't involve me at all.
He doesn't give you an update at all? on what's coming up?
I don't really want it. Why would he do it? It's not, I'm not involved. You know what I mean? It's sort of like my character passed on, so he's going on with a second story. And I think it's the right time for him to do it too. I mean, I think they're going to give him a great budget. He's putting together a spectacular cast. He's one of the greatest filmmakers that have ever existed, you know, and if he's come around to the idea in his head where he can make a second part of that story, then we just got to have a bit of faith and belief in that, and I'm sure it's going to be spectacular. And I wish everybody who's involved with that production, you know, great luck. You know, if anything, there's a slight twinge of jealousy because it reminds me of when I was, you know, in a more sprightly age, when I still had my tendons, you know, and my fitness and what have you. And I just know that everybody involved is going to go on a journey, and it's going to be a spectacular journey.
Thank you for this time, Russell. We just love you in Argentina. And next time, I hope I can see you with one of your guitars and playing some music for me. And I don't know, maybe I have a poetry from you, because I know you write poetry a lot.
Well, I write songs, yeah. Concert in Argentina sounds like a good idea. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Of course, we love you in Argentina. You don't understand how many fans you have over there. We're very passionate about music and movies and football, soccer and everything. You know that.
Yes, I know that. I know that for sure.
Thank you, Russell. Thank you for this time.
Okay, bye-bye.